I didn't scream when the scalding coffee hit my skin. I just sat there burning, staring at the man I once trusted with everything. Later she'll come to the house, he barked, slamming his mug on the table. Give her your things, or get out. His sister. Always his sister. He stormed off to work without a backward glance. The door slammed. Silence filled the kitchen. That's when I wiped the coffee off my cheek, stood, and finally let myself breathe. He thought he'd broken me. He had no idea I'd been preparing for this moment. I met him 7 years ago in a bookstore of all places. He reached for the same novel I did, smiled like a boy, and asked if I wanted it first. He seemed gentle, thoughtful, the kind of man who remembered details and made you feel seen. I mistook that attention for love. Back then, he never raised his voice. He never demanded. He only promised forever. And I believed him, but the change came slowly. First, his sister borrowed a necklace that never returned. Then a jacket, gone from my closet. When I confronted him, he laughed. It's just family, he said. But her visits grew frequent, her eyes hungrier, her demands sharper. The day I saw my credit card statement filled with purchases I never made, I realized the truth. He wasn't just enabling her. He was handing my life over, piece by piece. That morning's coffee wasn't an accident. It was confirmation. I was no longer a wife, just a resource. But he didn't know I'd already begun my escape. Quiet withdrawals from our joint account. A new account only I controlled. Documents, marriage certificate, property deeds, bank statements, scanned and sent to my lawyer. Each week, I packed a small box of belongings and stored it at a friend's attic. He never noticed. He never asked. By the time he threw that mug, I was ready. The second his car pulled away, I made the call. The movers arrived within hours. Every piece of furniture I bought, every plate, every chair, gone. I left only his things behind. Cheap, mismatched, worthless. Then came the lawyer. By evening, the locks were changed. The house was no longer in his name. Bank accounts frozen. I didn't stay to see his face, but I imagined it, him walking in with his sister, ready to strip the place bare, only to find bare walls staring back. And instead of me, a stranger in a suit waiting for him. This property is no longer accessible to you, my lawyer told him. Ownership has been transferred. You'll need to leave immediately. I pictured the color draining from his face, his sister's outrage twisting into panic. He thought I was powerless. But every signature, every transfer, every document was legal, final, untouchable. My revenge wasn't loud. It wasn't violent. It was absolute. I didn't need to be there to watch him shatter. I had already seen enough of his cruelty. What mattered was this. He came home expecting a broken woman. Instead, he found himself stripped of the very foundation he stood on. And me, I was already gone. My new apartment smelled of fresh paint and freedom. My skin still stung, but underneath it something stronger was burning. I wasn't a victim. I was the one who ended the game. Sometimes I think back to that bookstore where we first met. If I'd let go of that novel, maybe my story would have been different. But maybe I needed this lesson, to learn that betrayal doesn't end you unless you let it. He thought he could burn me into submission. Instead, he lit the fire that freed me. And that's how my marriage ended. Not with begging, not with compromise, but with silence, strategy, and a locked door he'll never have the key to again. If you like this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it.